Did you know that in the US there are between 4 and 6,000 animal shelters? And in those shelters there are between 8 and 12 million animals? Unfortunately, each year between 4 and 6 million of those animals are euthanized due to not being able to find a home. That's almost half the animals that enter a shelter yearly. But what if I told you you could change that for one animal? If you could take euthanization completely off the table, and that you'd be doing something that's good for you at the same time? You'd do it, right? Well, then you should go adopt a pet at your local shelter. You're giving that animal a new lease on life, but you're also getting yourself a new best friend along with some very, very nice health benefits. The first reason that I would suggest going to a shelter over going to a puppy mill or pet store is the variety. There's this myth that you can't get a purebred animal at a shelter, but that's completely not true. If you go to a shelter and just look around, there are several different options of pure breed often, and there are also my favorite kind of animal, the mud. You can get a large animal, a small animal, a cat, a dog, anything that you're looking for, you can probably find at a shelter if you just look. The next reason that I would pick a shelter over a pet store is that it's cheaper. In today's economy, most of us can't really afford to be spending any more money than we have to. But shelters are cheaper for so many reasons. First of all, the upfront adoption cost is so much cheaper than it is at a pet store. And it includes the fact that they were checked over by a vet when they came into the shelter, and most of them have received at least a couple vaccinations by that point. Also, they usually give you the option of you can have an animal that's spayed or neutered, or if you adopt an animal that's not already spayed or neutered, they give you what's called a spay-neuter contract, which is where you agree that after a certain period of time you will spay or neuter your animal. Also, when they do this, they often give you a discount on the surgery, which is never bad when you're paying a vet bill, let me tell you. The other reason that I would suggest this is that you're saving two lives instead of just one in this instance. You're not only saving the animal you bring home like you would be if you were buying one at a pet store, but you're also saving the life of the animal that would need that animal's cage at the shelter. So not only are you getting your own new best friend, but you're combating pet overpopulation. How could that be bad? Shelters also help you find the perfect match. In shelters, they often have rooms for you to play with your pet before you take it home or before you make a final decision. This allows you to get a feel for your pet's quirks and personalities, and for them to get a feel of yours and figure out if you're kind of good for each other or if you should maybe consider a different pet. Also, there's this myth about shelter animals that they're all there because they're bad or they're abused or there's something wrong with them. But most of the time that's not the case. The most common reasons that animals are in shelters are because of divorce, a move that doesn't include them, lack of time on the part of the previous owner, or financial constraints that couldn't be avoided. And some of these animals may not even have ever had a home to begin with. These animals only want to be loved and will often bond quickly with someone who shows them even the slightest bit of love and affection. Another reason that you should buy or go adopt from a shelter is because you'll be happier. The Humane Society online states, pets have been shown to be psychologically, emotionally, and physically beneficial. Caring for a companion animal can provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment and lessen feelings of loneliness and isolation in all age groups. Also, if we're talking about psychological help on the part of the animal, HealPostTraumaticStress.com suggests that having a pet is beneficial to healing from PTSD due to the fact that pets keep you grounded in the present. It's hard to think about the past when you're throwing a ball for your dog or dragging a string across the carpet for your kitten. It keeps you from being able to dwell on the past, which allows you a better opportunity to heal. Owning a pet has also been shown to produce positive self-esteem in children, as well as increasing the likelihood of a happy family environment. But in case the psychological reasons weren't enough, let's go to the physical health reasons. Pets have been shown to lower blood pressure, cholesterol levels, increase physical activity, strengthen your heart, improve blood circulation, and slow the loss of bone tissue. Those are all things that we could all appreciate, right? Also, a big reason that I like shelters more than I like pet stores is that it's not supporting puppy mills. Puppy mills are horrible. The animals in these puppy mills are not the main focus. The main focus for them is profit. They don't test their animals before they sell them. So when you buy an animal from a pet store, you have no idea if it's a healthy animal or if it has some kind of disease that you won't know about for a couple months when it starts to get really sick. Also, the treatment of the animals that are used for breeding in puppy mills is atrocious. These puppies are kept in cages for years until they're old enough to breed. Then they're bred and they have no human interaction. And they're bred literally to the point that they are no longer able to be bred. Then, when they are no longer useful to the puppy mill, they will get rid of the dog or cat, whatever it happens to be, by either killing them, abandoning them, or in some instances, which are less sad, they sell the animal. But they don't often notify the person they sell it to what this animal's life has been like. But if you want to know my two specific reasons that I'm encouraging you to go to a shelter as opposed to a pet store, you'd have to ask my two kittens that I just got last week, Hendrix and Zombie. I mean, look at this face. How could you not want to take it home? And just think, the next time you go, you could be making your own new best friend. I know I did.